Going to lock out?
Limpole.
Mr Chair, I'm going to probably repeat some of what has been said from other members in the hope that that the member and the chair will kind of get it. Because the purpose of holding, as others have said, requiring unions to hold a secret ballot when they are actually voluntary members of that union is in itself absolutely bizarre. Because as my colleague Carol Beaumont said, if members don't like it, if they don't like the outcome, then quite frankly they don't need to belong to the union. I think that the member is going back in time to when union membership was compulsory, and I think if he'd like to take a call and explain to the House of when he was a union official of whether it was compulsory or voluntary membership, but he seems to have no comprehension at all about the secret ballot process. And not only will people, if they don't feel compelled to take the strike vote, then they don't need to be members of the union. But frankly, if they don't approve of the process, then they may not. Then they've got the option of not withdrawing their labour, because the very point of having a strike vote is that the union itself, the members have to have faith in that democratic process. They have to have faith, and they have to have that sense of unity, and they have to think, we are taking this step that we actually treat very seriously, because we're withdrawing our labour and we're therefore not getting paid for the day. So before they do that, they give very careful consideration. And if they do take that strike vote, then they need to know that they are supported, that it's transparent, and they are supported by their fellow union members. So the whole thing about this bill is it just contradicts itself in so many ways. And I really do wish, and I think the member did indicate he was going to take a call, and if that's the case, yes, I see a little smile there as if he's going to get to his feet next, and I think he can enlighten the House on the points that have been raised. I think that's actually a respectful thing to do to members who are genuinely perplexed about what this bill actually is intending to do. And as Carol Beaumont and Darian Fenton in fact said, if there is this draconian, this is what the union has to do, then how is that actually enforced? Because what won't be acceptable is some naughty employer saying, well, look, I want to sit in on your union meeting because I want to make sure that those members there are having a secret ballot. And I will tell this House, and I'm not saying that this is every employer by any stretch of the imagination, but if there's any intimidation around standover tactics, it is when employers do try, bad employers, not good employers, bad employers do try to interfere with the democratic process of unions. And I am worried, and I would like the member, when he addresses all the other issues that have been made, to answer how this is going to be enforced. Who's going to police it? Who's going to make sure it is? Because if that member thinks, there will be employers out there who think, well, look, I think I'd just better go in and the interests of those workers, just make sure that it's a secret ballot. And if that member thinks that it's not intimidating to have an employer sitting there when they're discussing the terms and conditions in their collective agreement, then that member's quite clearly dreaming. So I'm looking at the CTU's submission. I'd like to compliment the CTU on a very measured submission, Mr Chair, because like us, Mr Chair, they do not fundamentally oppose the principle of a secret ballot. In fact, they support it. But what they're saying is that on balance, if that's the case, then before the employer makes decisions like locking out workers, there should be a secret ballot about that. Because it seems very, very, as Darian Fenton said, a very, very unbalanced and unfair a principle which is exactly what is at odds with what I said before, what this principle, Mr Chair...
Phil Twyford.
Thank you, Mr Chair.